Hello viewers, beautiful people. Welcome to Sit With. In all of this today, I have NDYE OLEY TAAL, Gambia's fashion icon, the one and only most crowned queen we have in this country. Welcome to Sit With.
Thank you, Fatou. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you so much. I have what I call infringing questions. These are two questions that are not part of the interview, I would say. Very personal questions. I know Gambians are not familiar or not friendly with personal questions, okay? But you're free to decline if you want to. So this question is, normally where we come from, okay? We have men divorcing us. But in your case, you divorced your husband. I can ask why, because that would be an infringement on his private life. But what I want to know is, do you think you would ever give marriage a chance? All of these men that are coming after you because you're beautiful, you're intelligent, you're smart and all of that. How are you handling all of that?
Actually, this question is not very personal. I think that a lot of women do go through this every day. It's not all the time that when there's a divorce, it automatically means that a man left a woman. I don't know what the statistics are, but I'm sure that there's a lot of women that find dissatisfactory in their marriage and felt like they wanted to be treated better, or they deserved better, or they fought and they've not won anything and felt like it was better that everybody just go their separate ways respectfully. And I've taken this part. If you know me personally, you know that I've taken this part not once, not twice. And because in a marriage, I think it takes one to be very selfless, unselfish and committed to be in a marriage. And it requires a lot of sacrifice, time and dedication. And personally, I know it's not a good look for a woman probably in our culture, or in our African culture, to sit and talk about these things and sound like they're very happy or proud of it. It's not something that it's not something that I am ashamed of. I'm not ashamed of it. I will talk about it every day because I think it's not a taboo. Divorces are not a taboo. People have been divorcing since the beginning of time.
That's true.
As I'm sitting here talking to you right now, somebody's about to have a divorce. Somebody's about to get divorced. So it's not something that I am ashamed of or I'm afraid to talk about. I didn't do anything wrong. Personally, I know what happened. I know why I made a decision. And if I was to go back, I would still make the same decision.
Okay. So would you give marriage a chance anytime soon?
I think marriage is not for everybody. I wouldn't say it's not for me. But personally, I think that given everything that I have been through, to be honest, it would take a whole lot of man for me to take the plunge to jump back into it. So God works in mysterious ways. I'm speaking here right now. Maybe in the next week I'll be married. I don't know. It's not something I am looking for or I'm running after. If it happens, it's a will of God, but it's not something that I am afraid of either, because I do believe in love sometimes.
Okay. That's a good thing. You believe in love?
Sometimes.
Oh, very surprising. Very, very surprising. Thank you very much. So now going into the interview proper, okay, I've noticed that, not noticed, but to my knowledge, I think you are the only Gambian that I know that bagged a degree in fashion. So I don't know if you would want to share with people, you know, the inspiration behind fashion and creativity. What's the inspiration behind it, behind the love for it?
For me, fashion has been like an outlet to be myself. And this stems back to me being really, really small. From age maybe 4 or 5, times that I can't even remember. Times that my parents were now telling me that this is what you used to do, Lingaranwa, you always wanted to do this, you always used to wear my high heels to run around the house, and you're always catching.
That's cute.
And I don't remember those things, but I have photographs to prove. Like, I have a photograph of me, I was 4 years old, I have full face of makeup and lipstick and eyeshadow everywhere. And people still, when they see this, they're like, okay, you know, this has been you. So for me, my fashion journey and going into fashion design started from me being a model, being an international model, modeling here, and just loving being in clothes, but also being curious about how do they make the clothes?
Okay.
What makes the clothes so special? How do they think about it? So a few years ago, when the former president did the Miss 22nd July pageant, I was I was in the first edition of the pageant, and I went and I bagged the scholarship, and I remember his reaction and many Gambians' reaction, because most people that got a scholarship, they were going to study law, some were going to do finance, international relations. I was the only one who was going out to study fashion, and everybody was like, why would you want to go study fashion? You like fashion already.
Where are those girls?
Most of them are around. Some have married, some have moved on, some are here, some are elsewhere, some didn't come back. All I know is that I went and I followed my dream and I graduated, and I came back and I dedicated my accolade to the Gambian women and the creative industry, and that was in 2014.
Okay. I don't know, do you mind sharing your success stories in this industry? Because I know you did take part in one of the international pageantries. Is it UK? Miss UK? Yes, so
well,
do you mind sharing?
Yeah, it's when
you're smiling.
No, it just takes me back to how old I am.
Are you serious? You're not old?
Yeah, I am. Because I started pageantry when I was 18.
Wow.
You know, I started with Face of Gambia when Fatima Jabi Madabio, the first lady of Sierra Leone, she was the one who organized the Face of the Gambia, and the second edition, I was one of the winners. And many girls went from that pageant to do really amazing things in their life and being entrepreneurs and just doing different things. If there's one thing the pageant does is it really empowers a woman. It shifts your mindset to be a very confident person. It shapes you. Then after that, that's when I went to the Miss 22nd July pageant the year after. Then when I moved to
very UK, popular. I know. I remember I was really young, but
it was
that
very popular.
Very popular, yes.
Especially the first edition and the ones after that. And when I moved to the UK, I represented Gambia for Miss West Africa UK 2012. Then I did Miss Commonwealth. And since all of those things, now usually I would coach and be judges in different pageants across the global, usually also in Gambia. Yeah.
Wow, that was really that was rich. That's really rich. It's a very rich CV.
Really?
Yeah, very rich.
Thank you.
Very, very rich.
I will try.
So with all of this experience that you have in fashion, okay, and looking at the Gambia, one can say that our fashion industry is like a baby. What exactly are you doing, in order to contribute, moving it forward or uplifting it?
For me personally, I think that putting Gambian fashion on the map is something that I really, really believe in, because having come back here, I go back and forth a lot. I travel a lot. I've been back here for the past 2 years. I've had a chance to study a lot of things, a lot of designers. I work with a lot of designers doing their consultations, work with them behind the scene for their looks, and just helping in
Fashion Week in Gambia too, right?
Yeah, with just consultations and just being there for someone as an aid. I think that we have a long way to go, but looking back at maybe 10 years ago, we were not here. We're getting there. It's very slow, and the fact that it is slow, I think, is because of the lack of co-creation and collaboration. Because even the biggest fashion houses, I had a chance to, I'm also a luxury fashion consultant. I had a chance to work for Louis Vuitton, Hermès, Chanel, Chloe, and Tiffany & Co. in Ireland. And it's always amazing saying that I'm from Gambia. Like, there's a Gambian working in Chanel. We have Gambians working in different fashion facets. Like, we have Pajine designing for Cardi B and all these people.
Wow.
There are a lot of amazing Gambians doing fashion outside, but I think fashion is a very untapped and underappreciated field. That
in the Gambia, you mean?
In the Gambia.
Okay.
Yeah. That it doesn't matter what one does. It's still yet to be seen. People don't see it.
Okay.
People don't see it. And right now I am working with Yobal, which is going to be an e-commerce platform, and I'm working as a creative officer to just gather
Yobal by Ace, right?
Yobal, yes, by Ace Communications Executives, and just gathering different creatives from the Gambia. But even with that, you'll see that there's a bit of a struggle, that they have a long way to go. They have a lot to learn. If only they were allowed to be open to see things differently and just widen their horizon into world fashion, it will make a huge difference for all of us.
That's quite true. I hope they will get this. Okay, so at Support Our Own Gambian Foundation, we have like an in-house of fashion designers. I am 100% sure that they would learn something from you if they watch this interview, but I would like you to dedicate at least 2 minutes of your time to advise them in that field, if you don't mind.
Okay, this I would say a million times, and I cannot even say it enough, that fashion starts with passion. It has to be something that you love, that you want to do. It's a craft. It's an art. For me, fashion is not just how people see it here. It's not just being able to make a nice dress or a really nice jacket like you're wearing and call yourself a fashion designer. I went to school 5 years. I had to study, be in the library, do research, do exams like a law student. I remember some of my friends and even my late father, when he came to visit me in England, in London, in my room, and he saw the pile of books. He was like, seriously, I know it's a serious thing, but I didn't know that
this
you guys
is
study
how
this much. We have so many books and magazines. And fashion, you have to know your marks. You have to know how to step outside of what you see a dress as and see it as a piece of art that you can just separate, deconstruct, and imagine it in another way. There's no reason why they could give you a wedding dress and you turn it and make it into a nice chair. There's no reason why you could give me this blazer and want me to fix it in 1 hour, and for me not to change it and turn it into a bag. You should be able to think about those things. And one thing that I see people do here is that they just go straight into wanting to sew and sell.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah.
And before the sewing process and all that kind of stuff, like sewing and selling, it's maybe 10 steps ahead from the initial step. You have to be able to imagine something. It could take months, it could take years. Allow yourself to dream, imagine, know what kind of fashion designer you
want
are
to be.
as well. I think it's really, really broad, because when I studied fashion, I did fashion merchandising, I did pattern cutting, I did sewing, I did fashion, contemporary fashion, we went into fashion architecture, we went into fashion journalism, we went into bridal wear, kids wear, men's wear,
journalism.
couture, we went into jewelry, perfumery. It's broad.
Wow.
So it's not, fashion is not about clothing. It's a lifestyle, it's a way of life. So you need to understand, I love fashion, but do I love fashion in the sense of styling a chair, like styling hotels? Do I want to be dressing beds? Am I the kind of fashion designer that just wants to make shoes? Do I want to focus on artistry, on doing fashion on faces? Or do I want to design bridal gowns? Or do I want to design dresses that are for red carpets? Or do I want to make amazing suits for guys? You know, you need to understand what kind of designer you are first. But the mistake people make is you call yourself a designer and you want to design everything. Maybe you're not really good at it. That's why sometimes you see inconsistency.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
Somebody will design a suit, like, this is amazing, only design this. Then they make a dress and it doesn't look right.
Yeah, that's true.
I am not a dress designer. So finding the passion and finding your niche in fashion first, and understanding your geography, where you live, and the demand of what people want. Like, you would see designers designing using fabrics and cuts and silhouettes of things that are not appropriate for the Gambian weather. Then a few months time the business just go bust.
Yeah,
and
that's
they
true.
feel like blah blah blah. But you have to understand, even so they can back out. And you know your clientele is back out. The people in Bakau, the way they dress, and maybe the people in Banjul, they're different.
Yeah, that's true.
You need to understand your geography, your demand, and what people around you like. Then you focus on that. I think that's a good recipe for success.
Wow. Okay, so in your journey, can you share with us something, the most, let me say, how do I call this? The most exciting moment? Like the most exciting moment of your life as a fashion icon. I call you a fashion icon because you're one.
Honestly, I don't even see myself as a fashion
Well, I
icon.
see you because, like, seriously, you are because you can count the number of people that have the kind of experience or the journey that you went through. For me personally, like I said before, like honestly, I don't know any Gambian that bagged a degree in fashion. So That's why I call you that name. I feel it's not about you thinking people to call you that. It's about people thinking that or knowing that this is your title, and you should grab it.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
I
thank
shy
you.
away from it actually a lot.
Well, it's yours.
Thank you so much. I'm honored.
It's really yours.
Thank you.
So please share with us one of the most exciting moments of your life in this journey.
That's a very, very hard one because I think generations have changed. Okay, personally, I think sometimes when I see people or the younger generation, for example, like I said, I'm 30. In a few weeks' time, I'll be 34 years old. So there were many women and men now doing fashion and doing amazing things. And when they use me as a reference from the past to, oh, I remember when you were in a pageant years ago and I watched you and you just inspired me to be this designer that I am right now. I'm like, me, really? I don't even realize. But then but because you didn't know that. Another momentum was working for Chanel, because anybody who knows fashion, you'll know that Chanel is like the biggest or one of the biggest houses in the world. And for me to have had an opportunity as a Gambian to work there,
that was huge.
That was very, 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 very big. It was huge. And there are many Africans or maybe Gambians that work in high-end department stores that are in Europe. But sometimes it's maybe to do with cosmetics and selling the makeup. But I was actually working in Chanel with Chanel.
Wow. That's huge.
Yes.
Guys, that's huge. Very huge.
Yeah, with Chanel connoisseurs and right-hand designers with Karl Lagerfeld being there one-on-one, touching the most expensive pieces of clothing, just doing that fashion consultancy with the biggest princes and princesses from Saudi Arabia to just trusting me.
That's big.
Trusting me to choose a bag.
Gambians don't know you, really. I think they don't know you. They really don't. Do they?
Some of us don't talk about our journeys and ourselves. For me, because I'm a fashion lover, for me, maybe I hold those experiences really close to my heart. And I feel like it's not something I need to share.
What?
And these are things that
you should
know. But I'm just happy for
it
myself.
might inspire someone else out there. You never know.
So for me, I remember someone asked me before, how does one get to the point where you get hired even in Chanel? Like, it seems like impossible. Because even when I was in Ireland, when I meet white people and I'm wearing the Brown Thomas, like the company I work with, and the Chanel, they literally stop me and tell me, how did you get a job in Chanel? And I was the only black girl working in the whole place.
Wow.
So, they used to teach me that if you did something, we'll know exactly who did that. But people used to find it fascinating. Because to work in Chanel, it took me like a year of interview, going back and forth. They watch your weight, they watch your skin tone, they watch what you do. You have to know fashion inside and out. And this degree you're talking about, personally, I think is what really made it easy for me, for them to understand that. I studied in one of the best universities and colleges in the world in London.
The name, please.
I studied in University of Arts London. That's why I had my foundation diploma in fashion.
Wow.
And I went to West London College, where a lot of amazing fashion designers have passed through and artists. Then I went to Harriet Ward in Scotland, Edinburgh, where a lot of amazing Gambians have passed through as well to study accounting. But I went there to study fashion. So there's this MP in Gambia right now that at one time she was like, what university did you go to? She's like, I studied here, I did accounting. She's an MP now. I'm like, well, I went there and I studied fashion. The contrast between us is just so huge, and it's funny.
Understand.
Yeah.
Well, that's huge. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I wish we can have someone else that would go through that line. Very sure.
It will be good. I think we need that.
We really need that.
Really do. Because I remember how frustrating it was for me not to have anyone that I could look up to at that time for fashion inspiration from the Gambia. Because even when I was in the UK studying, when we're giving reference to our cultures, you'll see that some of my classmates from America, France, Italy, Spain, they'll bring like 100 designers from their countries to show what they're doing. So for me, a Gambian around that time, and the style of design that I had in my mind, that's what I wanted to do. I couldn't give any Gambian as a reference.
Well, I'm glad you paved that way for the young ones that are coming, that want to venture into that. Probably some of them that are even older than you, maybe they want to go there still.
Awesome.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
So finally, I call it finally. Okay, in fact, before that, I just want your opinion around Gambians in terms of supporting each other. What's your opinion around it? What do you think? Do you think Gambians support each other?
Being a host of a talk show, I've hosted many Gambian personalities over my 2 seasons of the NDYE OLEY TAAL show. And I can remember the amount of times I've burst into tears because I'm sitting with someone who's so talented and maybe they just want something really small. It's heartbreaking.
Like
right?
a push.
Yeah, a push.
Just a push.
Sometimes it's not even material. It's just for people to know that you're out there and you're doing this.
Or probably connect you with someone.
Connect you with someone. A lot of people know a lot of people. Gambia is very small.
Yeah.
For me to just open a door, or for you to just open a door to let me in somewhere and just leave me there, and windows and doors start opening for me.
Yeah.
It's so small. You know so many people in your phone book right now that can make so much difference in my life.
Yeah.
Now the difference is who is willing to be so selfless to see themselves as a reflection of another person and just be confident that if I give this person this opportunity, it doesn't mean they're gonna go beyond me. What's even wrong with someone going above and beyond you?
For me, I think it's an accomplishment.
It is an accomplishment. Right now, I can see a Gambian woman that's been chosen to go on a pageant outside of the Gambia to represent the Gambia.
What's her name, please?
Majula. I think Majula something.
Okay.
I don't know. Is it Majula Cisse? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Okay.
But then she has people like Omid Wisdom and stuff supporting her. And she was a crown queen before from Miss Africa. And she has about 10-15 days to go for her to represent Gambia on an international platform.
Wow.
Literally, people are begging. It's on What's on Gambia. There's not even a cent yet sent to her for her to be able, and she might not be able to make it. And I mean, like, a lot of people, for me, for example, my talk show, this is my 3rd year. I'm just getting a sponsor this year.
Whoa.
You know, by the amazing Yosh, obviously, and who are hosting us actually today as well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to Astrid. And this is not a Gambian.
Very strange.
I'll use my example.
Strange.
That I've sent dozens and hundreds of letters to many places. No one has ever responded. She's not Gambian, and she just was like, when do you want to do this?
She's a nice lady.
Yes. And when I came to meet her, she didn't even ask me any questions. I walked in, I was like, hello. She just handed a check. Here's the check.
Oh my
I
God.
was like, oh my God, you know.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm not saying Gambians are bad, but Gambians ain't at all. I'm sorry to say this. I say this on my show all the time.
Yeah, truth hurts.
Yeah, Gambians ain't at all, and everybody just wants to be the best.
I understand.
And you feel like you're so deme, man, madam, you broke off in your dem, like I'm gonna outshine you.
But that's power.
Yeah, but power is dangerous.
No, I mean, together, making it together, being together somewhere, the two of you is power for the both of you.
No.
Okay, there was this day I told one of my friends that if we, for example, if Gambia or the world is like Jannah, and people, no, seriously, it's not funny, okay? People need, let's say for example, we have just one person that needs to open the door for Gambians to get in. This person will not even get in because they will not want to open the door for everyone to get in.
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy. It's really crazy.
Really sad. And it's not going to change, unfortunately.
Anyway, enough with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other infringing question I have is, I'm sorry, but I have to ask this question anyway.
It's going to be a very tricky question. But
no, it's personal though. It's very personal, okay? You're divorced.
Yes, I'm divorced.
You're beautiful. You're intelligent. You're independent. I'm 100% sure that there are lots of guys that are going after you, okay? And most of the time, I'm not saying all of the time, please, I said most of the time, okay? Ladies that are divorced, usually you see them date married men, men that are married. Have you ever dated a married man whilst you're divorced?
Whilst I was divorced?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
You want to share the person's name? Rumor has it that she is... Can you tell us?
Who?
The person is very popular. Very popular.
Dated? Really?
Well, it's rumor. I don't know.
Who would that be?
I want you to share with us. Do you mind?
I can't share that.
But why did you date someone that is married?
Sometimes connections happen, and connections are things that you can...
What do you think the wife would do if she knows?
When it happened, initially when we met, this is genuine. This is really honest.
Is the person in the Gambia?
I'm not sure where he is right now.
Is the person popular? Do people know the person?
Well, you said he's popular.
Oh, so I'm right.
That's what you said.
I was just guessing.
No, you said he's popular.
I was just guessing. So the
That's
person
what
is
you
popular.
said. That's what you
Okay,
said. But
all right.
when I found out, I felt a certain way about it,
Okay.
and I discontinued it.
Okay.
And he felt I was stupid for doing that.
Are you dating right now?
I am with someone. Yeah.
Right now.
Yes.
Oh, so she's dating. Bad luck.
Bad luck for who?
For those that are coming.
Who told you they're coming?
I know they're coming.
You don't know that.
Who is this person? It's a Gambian. Is he cute?
Yes.
Is he married? No. Is he young?
Yes.
Okay. The name you want to share?
No.
Okay.
How's that? Did you tell me the person you're dating?
I'm not dating.
Okay. If you were with
You have to remove that in the interview. Oh my goodness.
only you could do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it for the interview on Sit Sweet. I don't know if you want to say goodbye to
Yeah.
the viewers.
Thank you to you first.
Oh, you're welcome.
For having me. I mean, it takes a whole other person to see the beauty in somebody else,
Yeah, that's
to
true.
want to bring them. You're a woman like me, and like women are tricky.
I understand.
Women are tricky, and you could have just been like, whatever. And just for you to bring me here and interview me and share your platform with me means a lot to me. And I want to say thank you, and I want to say also good luck too with everything that you're doing. I think
you.
you're a young, phenomenal Gambian.
Oh,
It's inspiring, and you're also paving a way in your own way.
really? I didn't know that.
In doing a lot of things that you do, and not even wanting to be known.
I have no choice about on just brought
All I'm
me.
going to advise you is that you have big shoes to fill, so don't mess up.
I won't mess up. I promise.
Yeah.
I won't mess up. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. Thank you viewers for staying there. Do come by next time, next week, inshallah. Bye bye. Mwah, mwah.